Hey YouTube. So today I'm working on some character designs for my Polish lenses. Just trying to figure out, some of the facial expressions, what kind of characters they're going to be. As always, I'm working from imagination. I did do some study for like the hats that they're wearing and some of these decorations. Some of this I'm actually going to have to refine, but I think I've got the basics in there, which is good enough to work with. But yeah, these faces that I'm doing right now are just characters I'm just trying to design from my head, because I would really like to just kind of personalize them a little bit more. So this is kind of, I've already prepped this guy up, basically just using an 8B pencil, going in with strokes, like I use these very long strokes that cut through the form like this. And this is how I kind of search for the figure, because I have a very vague idea in my head of what I want the character to be. You can see this is kind of what he looks like in my head right now, just this very vague, massive tone. Probably got a bit of a mustache here. I'm thinking he's going to look pretty good there. And you can see he's got this very characteristic hook nose, which I wanted him to have. I wanted him to have like a really, kind of like really elongated nose. I thought that would look pretty cool for this kind of character. And then obviously I've got to draw the costume and everything, but right now I'm just going to focus on the face. The only reference that I really am using is my preparatory sketch, which is just sitting above the drawing. I'm trying to get it off. There we go. So this is the only reference that I'm looking at right now. I'm just looking at this initial sketch that I've done of all the Polish lances. This just kind of helps me, what direction they're looking at, how they're positioned. I'm not going to really copy the positioning of this one for one. I'm still going to kind of just make it up as I go along, but it's good to just have that initial sketch in front of me while I'm figuring out where all these parts go. But this drawing is really just to figure out the faces, the designs, and just kind of get the personality of the characters to come through a bit more, really. It doesn't mean I'm going to paint them like this in the final painting. The final painting, it might not be as detailed as this, but this is a good step to just kind of really flesh out your characters a bit more. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to chuck some music on in the background, and I'm just going to scratch away, and you can just watch how this develops. So I've just spent probably around an hour drawing this guy, just chipping away at the face, trying to sculpt the light. It's not a bad effort. I think probably what I should have done was maybe have done like a small, just like a preliminary sketch to the side or something, just like a very basic sketch, just so I could have, I don't know, conveyed the idea a little bit better. I think he looks okay, but I think he definitely needs a little bit more love. I'll definitely come into the hat here and hopefully I can really render that. Yeah, I don't know, there's just, I was kind of making a lot of changes to the face, and I think I was just really not quite sure what I wanted the final image to be, which usually is what happens when I draw faces like this. Like, you know, I have a vague idea, but I'm not quite sure what the destination is going to be. But as I'm sculpting away, usually the idea comes to me and then I just sort of roll with it. But this time I noticed that I was really making quite a few changes to his face. Like this part here, for example, that was going to be a lot more subtle, like maybe just like a bit of half tone for the cheekbone. But then I ended up making it a lot deeper. And then I had like this crease running down his face, which looks pretty cool. I think it gives him a lot of character, but initially that's not what I was going for. So yeah, I think maybe next time, for the next face that I draw on this sheet, I'll just do like a quick little small sketch just to kind of work it out a little bit better, and hopefully I'll go in with a bit more of a plan. I think the hook nose looks pretty cool. I mean, it's not quite as refined as it should be. Like I said, I think this drawing needs a lot more love. He's not looking like as good as him. I'm really happy with how he turned out. But, you know, I think what I'll do is I'll just keep chipping away at this guy for a while, and maybe I'll get there. Sometimes, you know, some drawings just give you a bit of a challenge and you've just got to stick with it. I don't want to give up on him because I do like him. I do like this character that I'm seeing. I'm sure I can do some cool things with him, but yeah, definitely need to just take my time with him a little bit more. Usually, like with this guy, for example, I sketched his face, yeah, about an hour, I think, maybe a couple of hours. And I just came to this really cool looking result, and I really like how he turned out. And then I just had to draw the rest of the uniform. This guy, yeah, he's not bad. He just needs a bit of work. So I've got two options. I can just keep scratching away at this guy, which is what I want to do. Or I could just leave him as it is, you know, learn from it, move on to the next one. And, you know, I could do that too. There's no wrong answers. But what I need to do now is I need to take a break. I need to get something to eat because I've not had breakfast yet. That might also be a factor. So I'm going to take a break from this and I'll come back to it later today. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll upload the next video as soon as I can.